asked. Okay, right, spring, it's the wood phase, about an hour of Qigong. Anything that's too much, or your body's complaining, maybe in pain, lessen your movements, lessen and slow down, and maybe even stop. Fantastic. Okay, I'm going to start with a little bit of marching, standing, just checking in with my body's kind of okay. Got a little bit of movement, a little bit of shimmer and shake just to begin with. And we're going to start with that lovely spring marching. Start off really slowly, just picking up the feet. I'm on the spot. I'm having a little walk. Being aware of the breath. Seeing how that feels. Are your legs already tired? Can you relax them a little bit more? What is your relationship with your quad, the old pelvic area this morning? Can you actually lift your legs a little bit higher, like a classic march? Opening up the quad, seriously waking up some muscles in the legs. Breathing, breathing out. Using the nose if you can. You've got lots of room in your house, you can actually go for a little bit of a walk. When you're ready, just slow down and stop. And we're going to get into that spring by getting very, very small. Little seed pod, quite small near the ground if you can. And when you're ready, we're just going to slowly open up. Coming up, pushing up and bubbling, spring in the feet. Getting taller and taller. Waking up that spring body after the winter. Maybe a big yawn if you fancy it. Opening up your seed pod, seeing what sort of plant you'd like to be. Feeling a little bit more expanded. You might suddenly realise you're very tight in one area. I'm slowly going to try and open that up. So in standing posture, feet are parallel, nice and equal, or hopefully on both sides. I'm trying to align my body. Knees are soft. I'm going to start with those morning forward swings with the arms. Hardly putting any effort into it. Just two pendulums swinging off the shoulders. Shoulder joints relaxing. Arms swinging. Feeling the blood and the energy down the arms to the fingers. Check out your shoulders. Imagine to keep them low. How's your neck? Need to be opened a little bit at the back, a bit at the front. Trying to keep your head nice and forward. Not lifting the chin too much or lowering the chin too much. Swinging those arms. You're going to bend the knees and pop those into some pumps, building up some energy. So when you're ready, you're sitting down behind you and having a little bit of a whoosh, whoosh, pushing behind you. See what that feels like. Like you're sitting down. Someone's offered you a chair behind. I'll show you on the side. Sitting down behind us. Still see my toes when I look down. Fantastic way to strengthen the legs and open up the quad, that pelvic region. Forward swings, forward pumps. In that energy going, spring. It might not be your spring where you're living today or where you're watching this, but we all need a bit of spring in us all the time, so a little bit of balance. Ooh, here we go, one more of those. Coming back just to normal swings. So stop when you're ready. Calming, slowing, pausing. Okay, open the feet just a little bit wider, give yourself a bit more movement. We're going to do some opposite swings. So one arm comes across the chest and up, both open. The other one comes to the other side. You need to undulate the knees. Allow a little bit of bounce and that opening, double hand, double side, front swing. So energetically, it's liver and gallbladder, part of the wood energy. All about the sides, double direction, the choices. Opening up and expanding the ability to move multiple directions. Feeling this opening up the rib cage, encouraging the breath. Feel all my muscles in between my ribs starting to warm up, trying to expand a little bit, soften, allowing movement. You can slow this one down if you want by going, pausing just for a moment in the upward feeling, connecting to the heavens just for a moment. One more of these, both sides. Quite hard to stop when you're doing that one. Slowing it down. Beautiful. We're going to get that double direction feeling right from the beginning. Popping our hands together, we're going to do little windmills. So here we go. Coming up with one hand, following that midline and drawing a circle to one side of you. That hand comes back up the midline to prayer position. We'll just do that one more time. That's going to stay still. Meanwhile, the other hand from prayer position is going to move downwards, all around the back to that center line by the heart center. And then we can see whether we can do it at the same time. So elbows out, lots of lovely air under your armpits. One arm's going up while one arm's coming down. Creating a double-sided windmill, and they meet back in the middle. And I like my hands making physical contact in the middle. Almost feels like you're stretching some pizza dough. See how that feels. Make it easy to begin with. Opening up shoulder muscles. Using that rotating experience, shoulder joints. So we're going to confuse things. Next time you're in that center line, let's see if we can go the other way. Pausing again, opposite directions. Like freeing your mind, very good. Feeling a little bit stuck in your thought process, maybe, or your habits, to mix up. Very hard to think about things when you're doing this. Be very present. Brilliant. One more of these. Shimmer and shake. We're going to take that into that marching mode we did a little bit before. So here we go. We're going to say hello to the opposite thigh as we're walking, getting a swinging, and then allow your arms to move the figure of 8, swinging from side to side. Try not to hit anything in your room. Waking up the muscles on the front of the leg. A little bit of gentle rocking or slapping. Shimmer and shake. Shimmer and shake. Let's pop ourselves in standing posture again, and we've got that tailbone going down and the chest is open, rolling back those shoulders, scapula slipping down the back. Just going to come up onto our toes if we can, and then drop down. Just a couple of times. Testing out your balance. See how you're doing this morning. That's really difficult for you. You might have a little bit of support you can use. It's always good to look and pinpoint on the wall. Keep your focus, helps you to balance. Beautiful. I'm going to focus on the sides of the body now. I'm going to do handbags. So one hand's coming all the way out, round and above you. And then the hand's going to become limp and the wrist is above your head and it's being pulled up to the heavens. And meanwhile, this arm's gone very floppy. We're letting go of the ligaments and tendons and we're looking down towards the floor. When you're ready, completely turn the other direction. Another bit of a windmill. Someone's on a cloud above you, let them take you up into the air and you'll shimmer and shaking. Looking down, getting that feeling of opening up the sides of the body. Lifting up the arm and shimmer and shaking with the other one. Here we go to the other side. Turning over. Lifting up with that wrist, soft hand and arms. Beautiful. Now the shimmer and shake. Let's do a downwind hinge twist. Another one of those, getting that feeling of the sides going. So a bit of a cross on the arms and then try and separate your arms so there's gaps everywhere. Soften the knees. Breathing in. We're going to open and looking down, and we're expanding on the diagonal, connecting up through heart protector 8 in the palms, to heaven and 1 to the earth. Bring that back in and expand the other direction. Bring that in. Sometimes we don't think about the size of our bodies enough. With this expansion, you'll never completely lock the elbow. A little bit of tension as you're just pushing, holding the earth and the heavens apart, coming right through the chest area, the energy. Last time, a little bit of a stretch, looking down at the neck. You say hello to the neck next. Just Pause for a moment in your lovely cross position. Soften down. And we're just going to think about the neck now, just to get a little bit of side movement. So we're looking to one side, I'm looking to my left, and I'm going to drop down. So I'm opening up the back of the neck and looking up the other direction. And we're dropping down again. A bit of a rolling effect. Very lovely way of opening up the back of the neck. Very calmly. And down again. I'd never warm up the neck in a speedy way. Pull one of the muscles in the neck. Very, very painful, very annoying. You have to turn your head. Let's look over, up and over, drawing a couple of rainbows, one side to the other, opening up the throat, feeling the vertebrae in the back of the neck. They're connecting much closer. One more time. Over we go. Hands on hips, feet just in normal standing posture, and we're just going to rotate our hips. If we can, we're going to create that figure of 8. Don't know if you could do that with your hips. An infinity figure of 8. Moving from side to side, checking out movements in your pelvis. If you do this, you can feel gentle opening of the muscles on the side, the center, core of your body. Constantly needs strengthening. If you can go the other direction, not always easy in your mind. So all these figure of 8 movements are very good. Checking out the brain, your ability to change direction, working both sides of the brain, not just one-sided. Brilliant. Relaxing that. And we're going to do some teacups now. So I'm going to start with one-handed, popping yourself into a little bit of a wider stance so we can sink down a little bit if that feels appropriate. One hand on your hip, and the other hand's going to be holding the teacup. I'm going to take the teacup behind us. Don't spill any of your liquid or tea in your teacup. The wrist turns round, we bring it forward, holding the teacup nicely on the hand all the way behind. We end up back at the same place. So then we can take it back again, and you can use your hips to get a little bit of movement going. Round. So this teacup travels past your hip and your middle, going backwards. How that feels. It's like you're lassoing somebody. And in the end, you are drawing figures of 8 in the sky. Let's fill your tea. See if we can do the other side now. Bringing that back, popping that cup of tea on the hip. Find your other arm. Give it a shimmer and a shake. Pop the teacup in your hand and bring it back. Here we go. See how that feels. to got that right. Bring that back in, round, back through and round. So there's no real wrongs and rights with this. You're just working out how to get that lasso going above the head and that figure of 8 traveling behind while trying to hold a cup of tea on your palm. You always feel one side of the body is never quite as loose as the other. Might have had some damage, or it just might be used a little bit tighter muscles at the time. So take your time, see how that feels. Energizing around the body. Brilliant. When you're ready, bring that back, shimmer and shake the arms. We're going to do the two-handed, which might actually feel easier. It gets more balanced. So I'm now holding my 2 cups of tea, kind of near my middle area, around the girdle vessel. And I'm going to take that backwards. Holding those teas, don't spill them. I'm going to have to lean forward to then take them over my head, leaning back to bring them back to where they began. Leaning forward, leaning back, bringing them through. You've got a bit of a mirror going on from the center line of your body. You half a body mirrored. Taking those cups of tea round the cafe at your speed waiter or waitress, maybe on roller skates. Your youthful energy would phase or element leading around the tea. Don't spill it. And then if you're ready, we can try going really fast and change this up into cappuccino. We're frothing the milk up as much as we can. Slowing down. When you're ready, coming to a standstill. Now we've got our hands out, we're just going to start twisting them, turning and twisting them. That feels the sinews, ligaments, the tendons, and the fascia. We kept moving all the time. And oiled, flowing. Put our hands together into a clamped tight hold, fingers between fingers. I'm going to start moving that as well. Turning the wrists, using the elbows to move the wrists as well. I'm going to take this into a classic rooster spreads his wings. Shifting the energy around the body. So when you're ready, we're going to take an elbow up and behind, leaning over. And the next one comes up and we're coming over. So we are shifting the energy all the way from the back to the front. Putting the sides up, some height on your little wings. And you're a lovely, bossy rooster. Shifting the energy through the farmyard, bustling away, moving the scapulars, moving the ribs, moving your lovely wings. forward momentum going with this one. Beautiful. Couple more of our rooster. Remember to bustle your tail feathers as well. I'm going to come to stop. Slow yourself down slowly to the point you're just going backwards in time, moving the wrists and the hand, and then gently letting go, finishing off just with the wrists, keeping the elbows high, moving the finger joints to the chi flow within. Right, we'll change this up and we're going to look at one of the 8 silk brocades ones, ancient, and this is opening the bow to shoot the golden buzzard. So we'll pop ourselves into a wider horse stance if that's comfortable for you. You can have a smaller horse stance, just means that your feet can go out and travel with the knees moving out as you crouch down. So I'm going to have a nice wide one. We're going to bring some energy up that front line. And when we're ready, we're going to sink down and we're going to pull our arrow. It's going to travel by the side of our eye. And the other hand's going to form an L shape, which is like a eye finder, and pull it out. We are literally pulling the bow while looking into the distance. And when you let go, bring that energy back. Beautiful. Sinking down, we're off to the other side. Really pull that arrow past the eye. Liver and gallbladder. One of their senses that they are in charge of is the eyes. Seeing into the future as your imagination. Bring that energy up. Looking into the distance. What can I see? It's not always your vision, it's the imagination vision. You dream. See possibilities. Side to side we go, looking directly, far away, maybe in the mountains, seeing things clearly. Pulling that bow, as soon as it's open, bring that energy up. One more, here we go. Connecting through to the eye, opening up, bring that energy back. Beautiful. Let's just bring some energy down. Close that one. Okay, going to do punching with an angry gaze to increase your strength. So this is also from the 8 silk brocades. And we're standing, I'm just going to turn myself slightly away from the computer so I'm not punching towards you. And we've basically got our energy with our fists round that girdle vessel, that center line. Girdle vessel is an energy line that travels round, horizontally round the tummy area. It's quite big, we always call it the wrestler's belt. So we've got our soft knees, my feet are planted beautifully into the earth. I brought back my shoulders, my soft fist, thumbs on the outside by the waist. I'm looking forward. I'm going to have a bit of an angry gaze. So this is releasing pent-up energy, which sometimes can then manifest itself as anger, which isn't very useful at times. So we're going to push out as if we're punching somebody. And when we've got there, we're just going to turn the hand and bring it back in. Very neat. And when that's back in, the next one's coming out. We've just got one with a beautiful turn. And then the next one comes out. You can sink yourself down as much as you want to. Keeping the loose fist, we're still allowing energy to flow around the body. Have a little bit of intent with your eyes. Really catch point on the wall. Visualize you're expressing yourself. You're saying everything that you want to say. Everything you feel, you can actually say completely. It's going to be listened. At this point, we're just going to change this up. So pushing out as if you're punching, and then swirl around those fingers if you're grabbing some energy and bring it back in. Here we go. Punching out, still that angry gaze, but swirl around and bring some energy back in. And this is to remind you that any angry energy you allow out of your body, which might be appropriate or not appropriate, is still your energy. Don't waste it. Be very mindful how you use it. I'm not saying that anger isn't the most essential item at times. You a lot of power. Power needs to be used appropriately. One more of these. Brilliant. Okay, we're now going to change this up again and go into a Vietnamese version of this. And we've basically got back to the little round punching, but we do 4, and then we're going to move to a different axis on the earth, and then move to another, and then move to another. So we get a little bit more speed up. So you need a little bit more space, so make sure you don't hit a wall with your favourite ornaments on a shelf. If you haven't got room, then you can just do straight, straight, and carry on. So you always adapt to the space you've got. Here we go, starting just as before. And go 1, 2, 3, 4. Change. 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 1, 2, 3, 4. Shifting my energy. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last round. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Calming that down. Shimmer and shaking it. We're carrying on with the punching theme. And we're going to do striking the opponent's ears. That's from Shibashi step 2. We're going to take a step forward 45 degrees. Our little soft punches are going to turn more like into barrels. We're interested in the top part. And we lean onto that front leg. Leaning, leaning. The arms come round. Visualize someone's there and you are making contact with their ears, both sides. Coming back. Ready? Stepping out, leaning, and boxing. Striking the opponent's ears. So again, keeping that focus with that angry gaze. Connecting through. And recognizing sometimes we have emotions that we find very hard to express or feel the right to share. It can cause problems within the body, depressed emotions. It can lead to a lot of out of control anger and often depression. So we have to be careful knowing how to express them out of our bodies. Okay, one more both sides. Here we go. Striking the opponent's ears, one side and the other. Beautiful. And while we're carrying on with that sort of stretching feeling, leaning forward, we're going to do pulling the 9 cows' tails. So this is always lovely. You're going to take a massive step forward, if you can. And with that same arm, you're going to lean forward, like you're grasping 9 cows' tails. It's quite a handful, isn't it? The other hand's going to disappear right round to your back. It's disappeared. We're leaning forward. And then we're going to take the weight on that back leg and we're going to turn around as much as we can to almost look behind us. We're turning and twisting the body. And when you're ready, we're going to lean forward again. Grasping the 9 tails. Bringing it all the way around. Pulling, 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 pulling. Turning and twisting the body. Working on those ligaments. And that two-way direction. All the way around. Beautiful. Last time, leaning forward. 9 tails, it's quite a handful. Big cows. Bring it all the way back, looking behind. Beautiful. Release the cows, popping yourself back. We're going to try the other side. So it's like you're stepping forward into the mud. The cows are stuck in the mud. One arm, remember, is tucked right behind the back and the other one leaning forward, grasping those cows' tails, and we're going to pull them back. Take the weight on the back bent leg, and we're taking it as far as we can. Then you go as far as you can, and then come forward. 3 more times. We're holding, pulling and twisting and twisting and twisting. Oh, pulling them out of the mud. Really heavy. Last time. We've got 2 more times. Pulling, 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 pulling. All the way across the body. Ah, brilliant twist. Last time. Weight on one leg. 9 cows' tails. Pulling them all the way around. Oh, I think we got them out of the mud. That's cool. Let's pop ourselves into the beautiful tree pose. Just in little standing posture. Gather some energy from around you, bringing it in. Soft shoulders, totally relaxed. No stress. Gently holding. See if you can soften your fingers and thumbs. And you're just holding the tree. Or maybe you are the tree. Breathing calm. The classic meditative position which you can put yourself into whenever you like. If you find your arms are very, very heavy, try relaxing the shoulders a little bit more, or just lowering the arms onto your thighs just for a moment. Breathing in and out, seeing if they'll just rise. Let's make some more flowers, or flowering trees, blossom time, isn't it? We're going to pop down a little bit more, going towards the earth and pick up some mineral-rich earth. We're going to bring it through this big tree that you have become, this big plant energy of the wood, big green experience going on. Take it up and allow your branches to grow a little bit more. And as you open up like a tree, like to imagine all those fresh leaves of spring, maybe even some blossom, beautiful colours. Let's do that 2 more times. Coming down, take the energy from the earth, full of lovely hydrating water from the winter as well. We're in springtime. Plant is growing. Imagine the plant you are and allow yourself to get bigger. And then just imagine, if you want to, beautiful fluffy flowers. Do whatever colour you want to. Let's do that 1 more time. Collecting energy, bring it through the body. Allow yourself to soak up the liquid and the minerals from the earth. Allow yourself to grow and expand. Really, really pretty, serious colour. Standing pose, holding the tree. Breathing in. Now we've created a bit of a forest with all our trees. Let's let some deer in to enjoy the forest. The deer often represents the wood element, the ethereal, spiritual connection, your imagination and the ability to dream. Spirit. Okay, we're going to start with the male deer. Remember how to do it. We're going to pop our hands in front. They're going to form into hooves. I've just got my 4 fingers stuck in the thumb tuck behind. We're going to lift these up. And then we're just pausing for a moment and we're going to take it on a round. So we're moving it on the round, front of our body. And as we come to about shoulder height, I'd like you to pop the opposite foot out. Just place it down, heel down if you can. And at that point, find your antlers, and that's first finger and little finger, still to the side, shoulder height. And they're going to travel all the way round, and the weight's going to go on that front leg. So my foot's flat, my knees bent, taking my antlers, look a bit like a cactus shape, and I'm going to try and look at my back heel. Again, I've got this amazing twist going on, twisty tree. And I've got my back heel in sight. I'm untwisting. I've still got my antlers. They're coming back on that 360 move. My weight's starting to go on the back leg again. They've turned back into hooves. I'll place my foot back into standing posture. My hooves are nicely back in place. Then we can just go to the other side. Off we go. Hooves are travelling up. Just visualise your arms are doing a 360-degree movement. Shoulder height. The foot's coming out, heel down. Popping those hands into antlers. You're very big, very strong, big male deer, big antlers. And we're coming down and I'm starting to twist. My weight's on that front leg. And I'm looking all the way behind at the back heel. And turning again. Coming back up, weight starting to go back on that back leg, keeping my arms flowing in that 360, and I'm back into food. And then we're going to go up the other direction. So we're moving up, come out onto that lovely heel, bow my antlers, the weight's going to go on that front foot, and I'm travelling around, twisting my body, trying to keep my big chest open. Noticed deer's got lovely front parts of their chest, often fluffy white, coming back over, into hooves. Come into a standstill. We're going to do one more time on the other side. So here we go. Hooves travelling up. Foot's coming out on that heel. It's the opposite to the hands. Got my antlers, my weight's coming on that front leg. And turning round. Bit cactus hands. Turning and twisting. And looking, if I can, at my back heel, which is beautifully flat on the floor. Feet are flat on the floor. Coming back up. Popping myself standing. Finding my hooves again. Find female deer as well. Slightly different. Of course, she starts off with some hooves, so create your hooves and just start to lift them up a little bit. Check out your body, make sure you feel like a deer, not a human anymore, turned into beautiful deers. We're going to lift these elbows up. The elbows are coming up, so it's actually lifting the hooves. And when we come to about head height, we're going to change the hooves into little buds. They haven't got quite such big antlers. So that's just little round hands, fingers all in. And they're going to come up and you just hold your little buds or small antlers in place. At that point, take a leg, I'm taking my left, and I'm putting it out, but on the toes, not the heel. Quite pointy. I've bent the back knee a bit so I can sit down, and at this point, just pause. I'd like you to look around. Looking around the forest, are you safe? And we realise we're with each other and a bow. Our weight goes onto that front leg, lovely flat feet if you can. At that point, turn to the opening made by that back leg. And then we're dipping over, keeping our body open, bending the back leg, and then one antler is going to go to the same leg at the front, down at the ankle, and the back antler is going to go to the hip. And I'm going to literally bend my back leg if I can, my back knee, and I'm bowing to you. Beautiful. Only go as far as you can. We're coming back up, our little antlers, popping ourselves back into standing, and we pop our hands down by opening big circle back into little hooves. There she is. See if we can do her the other side. Breathing in, hands come up, hooves, turning into little buds. Opposite foot comes out. I'm doing my right one. Bend the back knee so I can pop all of my feet, my toes on the floor. And I'm looking around the forest. We've got a beautiful balancing moment. Feeling the lightness of the deer. Amazing features. Lots of flexibility and the ability just to bounce everywhere. When we feel safe and we've spotted each other, we're going to put the weight on that front leg by bending it, straightening the back one. And then we're going to start bowing by putting one hand on the hip, opening the chest to the side, leaning back and taking the weight on the back knee, and then we're going to bow at the front. So our feet only move once. All the movement down with the knees, coming back up, turning back, popping yourself back in. Have it open. Beautiful. Now we're going to do one of our favourite, the running deer. So whole hands become antlers. Lift up the energy. This is from the 10 symbols of longevity. We turn to the side and we flow down and we come up the other side And this always feels like a running deer after doing those other two ones. A little bit more stationary. We've just got a flow going. Brilliant connection. The sides of the body. Do a little bit of a lean back if that feels good. Just see how your back is. If it's stiff anywhere, that's fine. We don't want to compress any vertebrae. The numbers especially. Flowing from one side to the other. Deer running. One more of the flowing. Bring that energy forward. Pop ourselves into a wood mudra. That's just a symbol of wood. Center line, one hand folds like an inside prayer, facing down, and the other is above it. So both palms are facing one direction. It's that feeling of going up to go down. It's the double direction. Calming your breath, coming to the end of our session together. We're just going to interchange the hands. So we just move them so they become parallel hands on top of each other, little line, exchanging the chi. Splitting plate. Down. Two more times. Exchanging the energy. Feeling the chi running over the skin between the hands. Realigning the body last time. Double direction. Good element. Beautiful. Feet together. Hands on hara, that lower belly, lower dantian. Just having a moment of bamboo in the wind. Allow energy to flow as if the wind just pushing you however feels appropriate. Roots to the ground. Brilliant. Finish our session with 3 claps to know that we've definitely finished. When you're ready, and 1, 2, 3. Move down your chi.